Hell is watching these movies. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 worst movies of all time. For this list, we're looking at the most infamously disappointing, critically panned, and reviled movies ever made.
The field may not have been set off. Something in this field could be releasing the chemical into the air when there's too many of us together.
Number 20, The Emoji Movie.
Today is my first day on the phone. Oh boy, I'm gonna be so meh. What are you gonna do?
In 1914, Winsor McCay premiered his animated short Gertie the Dinosaur, launching a groundbreaking art form into the mainstream. 103 years later, this art form was used to turn Sir Patrick Stewart into a talking piece of poop.
That's because I believe in you.
Should we wash our hands?
McCay would be so proud. The Emoji Movie doesn't even feel like a real animated feature, but rather a satire of one. Come to think of it, if smarter writers were involved, maybe this could have been a clever satire about product placement and Hollywood's creative bankruptcy.
This feels very odd, and it smells.
Since this is a movie about a society that inhabits a device, however, it's nothing more than a commercial, really. As Rotten Tomatoes will tell you, the whole movie can be summed up with a general prohibition sign emoji.
Aim higher, Stephen.
Number 19, Fantastic Four. The next entry on our list is a case of tripping right out of the gate. Director Josh Trank was a relative newcomer to the scene when he was hired to helm 2015's big-budget reboot of Marvel's Fantastic Four franchise.
Victor! Come on! We can't leave him! Wait, we gotta go now! Come on!
Trank had only one prior directorial credit in film to his name with 2012's Chronicle. Yet the writing was on the proverbial wall when Trank posted a negative tweet about his experience on the film prior to its release.
He's been active in covert operations with a 100% success rate.
This was in addition to the already poor reception Fant4stic was receiving from critics, who wrote off the film as a, quote, woefully misguided attempt to translate a classic comic series without the humor, joy, or colorful thrills that made it great. Ouch.
Gotta say, it's fantastic.
Number 18, Movie 43.
Hello, Mrs. Miller. I'm the pretty girl.
She is.
Helmed by Peter Farrelly, who'd ironically go on to direct a Best Picture winner only 5 years later, Movie 43 was supposed to be Kentucky Fried Movie meets Funny or Die. Instead, we got the Citizen Kane of awful, as Richard Roper put it. Comprised of several sketches, this anthology comedy enlisted a cornucopia of gifted actors and filmmakers. The selling point was a skit where Kate Winslet goes on a date with Hugh Jackman, who's given a unique neck abnormality.
Hi.
Lois.
Yes.
Lois Lane.
No, I know. It's me, Robin.
From there, more and more stars signed up for a comedy that ultimately produced few laughs, but plenty of groans and cringes. We dare you to find a movie released in the 2010s that flushed more talent down the toilet.
Certain percentage of our younger demographic are sticking there, you know what, in the vent.
No, I don't know what.
Number 17, Bucky Larson, Born to be a Star.
Oh! You hit me in the eye!
We guess you could say that Nick Swardson was the 2010s equivalent to Rob Schneider, i.e. the guy who frequently pops up in Adam Sandler movies. Whereas Schneider had a few star vehicles back in the day though, Swardson was given one shot to prove he could carry a movie.
That's my folks. On the big screen.
If Bucky Larson proves anything, it's that Swardson was not born to be a star. Centering on a buck-toothed mouth breather who learns his parents were adult film stars, Bucky Larson sets out in pursuit of fame. It's basically a poorer version of Orgasmo, which didn't exactly set the bar very high. Throw in Pauly Shore, and you've got a movie that clearly is not even trying.
Hey, ma'am, I got your paper.
You can leave the paper on the counter.
Number 16, Glitter. There's been no shortage of quality musical dramas in the 21st century, but this is not one of them. Mariah Carey has tried to blame the film's failure on the fact it was released on 9/11, even though it was actually released on the much less traumatic 9/21.
You got anything we can hear right now?
Sure, why not?
We're working on it.
But the fact that critics and fans alike loathed the film seems like a far more likely explanation. For one, Carey's performance as Billy Frank was so harshly criticized, she ended up winning the Razzie in 2002 for Worst Actress.
No, your whole thing, the superstar always comes first.
Look, don't blame me for your failure.
After just 27 days in theaters, it closed, having earned back only around a quarter of its $22 million budget. All that glitters clearly ain't box office gold. Number 15, the 50 Shades of Grey franchise.
Christian Grey.
I'm Anastasia Steele.
Given how over-the-top E.L. James's books are, the 50 Shades of Grey trilogy could have been so bad it's good, not unlike Showgirls. By removing Anastasia Steele's ridiculous narration, though, we're left with a vanilla romance that doesn't even deliver the eroticism the trailers promised. When you really think about it, there isn't that much BDSM in these movies.
You bought the company I work for. This isn't a relationship, Christian. It's ownership.
Most of the runtime is instead dedicated to beautiful people driving fancy cars, sailing yachts, flying in private planes, and essentially indulging in the 1% lifestyle. Then, when we do get to the sensual stuff, it's kept relatively tame. It all builds to arguably the dumbest ending of the decade, in which Anna and Christian live happily ever after. Fitting? Number 14, North.
You got a lawyer? Why? Do I need one? North. This is America. Everyone needs a lawyer.
Worst movie lists are usually riddled with remakes and sequels, but North, in all honesty, almost looked like heartfelt Forrest Gump-style Oscar bait.
Just a little something to remember your old buddy Gabby by. Hope it brings you good luck.
Since it was directed by the brilliant Rob Reiner and featured an incredible ensemble cast, the world was shocked when they finally laid eyes on this snooze fest.
No wonder we stopped for lunch 49 times.
Elijah Wood stars as North, a child genius who goes searching for more suitable parents than the ones he has as he travels around the world.
You dealt the hand, you're stuck with it. It's not like baseball, where if you don't like the deal you have with one team, you can become a free agent and try to get a better deal with another team.
Even with a $40 million budget, it was impossible to sit through such boring, forced humor, with each scene seemingly rushed and incomplete.
Where the hell are my parents? North. Did you say the word hell? The summer's really broadened you.
We can certainly see why one particular critic, quote, hated this movie.
I hated this movie. Hated this movie. Hated it. Hated every simpering, stupid, vacant, audience-insulting moment of it.
Number 13, Alone in the Dark.
What the hell's going on here?
Especially known for his video game adaptations, Uwe Boll has built a reputation for directing some of the worst movies of all time, with most of his productions becoming critical and box office disasters. He also doesn't care what you think. Although House of the Dead deserves a special mention, it's his other video game adaptation that's our choice. In Alone in the Dark, Christian Slater uses his special powers to chase after these demonic creatures that used to be worshipped by an extinct civilization. And it is epically bad.
If they disrupted electricity, how come my flashlight still worked?
Number 12, Gotti.
This life ends one of two ways, dead or in jail. I did both.
Congratulations, John Travolta. You've made your silliest movie since Battlefield Earth.
Are you not aware that I graduated top of my class?
The script for this crime biopic reads like it was written by an AI bot that gathered all of its data from Italian-American stereotypes and gangster cliches.
You got us into this mess, please.
Get the out of here, Ange. Go on.
Gotti hits all the familiar mob movie beats, but it's completely deprived of any humanity. When all's said and done, what do we really learn about John Gotti by watching this movie? Well, he was a mob boss, he had a family, he swore a lot. That's about it. There's no real insight into what made Gotti such a fascinating figure. The only thing more confused than the movie itself is the soundtrack, which includes the musical stylings of Pitbull and the theme from Shaft.
35 years in the same house as his wife. I mean, that ain't right. That ain't right.
Number 11, Jaws: The Revenge.
Come on, you overgrown goldfish. Come to Uncle Jake.
In a world with Sharknadoes and mutant piranhas, this movie is somehow the most laughable underwater monster movie ever.
If enough mediocrity were fattening, you'd all be whales.
Shooting the franchise dead in the water, this fourth Jaws film asks the question that was on everyone's mind. What if sharks can hold grudges and somehow stalk a family to another country?
Shark that killed Martin and Sean is following the family.
Hey, he's not talking about our shark, eh?
Oh wait, that wasn't on anyone's mind? Well, it's a movie anyway. This boring sequel expects us to believe that this shark wants revenge on the Brody family for killing the original Jaws, and swims from New York to the Bahamas, looking mechanical as hell the whole way. And to think, Michael Caine missed out on accepting his Oscar for Hannah and her sisters to shoot this disaster.
The first time's the best for everything. After that, you know too much and nothing's ever quite the same.
Number 10. The Last Airbender.
Is it okay if you tell me your name?
The monks named me Aang.
The Last Airbender lived up to its title, but not in the way director M. Night Shyamalan intended. Shyamalan built up this film as if it was going to kick off Hollywood's next epic trilogy. Between its rushed plot, wooden acting, overproduced special effects, unnatural dialogue, and accusations of whitewashing, though, a sequel naturally never saw the light of day. The good news is that there's already an epic trilogy, the 3-season-long animated series that inspired this cinematic travesty. That being said, the fact that The Last Airbender was derived from such a brilliant show is what truly gets under people's skin. A terrible movie is one thing. A terrible movie based on promising source material is just shameful.
You're angry. You must let this go.
Number 9. Gigli. Thanks to Bennifer 1.0, this monstrosity received way more attention than it deserved. However, that didn't stop the movie from being among Hollywood's most expensive bombs ever.
In every relationship, there's a bull and a cow. It just so happens that in this relationship right here with me and you, I'm the bull. You're the cow.
In Gigli, Ben Affleck is a mobster who needs to kidnap a prosecutor's mentally handicapped brother in order to help a crime boss, played by Al Pacino, avoid prison. You all guessed right. This is clearly a romantic comedy.
What about me is not your type?
Your penis.
This movie is offensive to the mentally challenged, to lesbians, and to any audience members with eyes or ears. After winning 6 Razzies, it later won a 7th for Worst Comedy of the Razzies' first 25 years. Well deserved. Not that the original film was a classic or anything, but it was at least guilty pleasure fun.
Flawless victory.
At least the planned sequel was cancelled.
Death is the only way out.
Number 7. Super Babies. Baby Geniuses 2. What's amazing about this movie is that it's a sequel. Oh my god. As in, one movie about cheeky superhero babies who converse in secret baby talk apparently wasn't enough.
I'm gonna join your team, and we can be real superheroes. Before you take that path, look at what you'd be leaving behind. What, diaper rash?
The effects in Super Babies Baby Geniuses 2 are awful, the plot is inane, and the dialogue is painfully bad. From start to finish, the entire movie is based on a single gimmick.
Alright, super babies, let's see what you can do.
Critics were united in their distaste for both Baby Geniuses flicks, remarking that weak one-liners don't somehow become funny when they're made by babies.
Why not freshen up a little?
In fact, these toddlers could have probably found a funnier script in their diapers. Number 6. Howard the Duck.
That's it. No more Mr. Nice Duck.
When the world heard that George Lucas was finally bringing Marvel Comics to the big screen, we're sure that nobody expected the character he'd be adapting would be Howard the Duck.
Bev, I'm not a real sentimental guy.
No, I bet you were born from a very hard-boiled egg, Ducky.
The end result barely resembled the comics, and was such a mess that all the actors had a hard time finding work after this film. Willard Huyck never directed again.
No one laughs at a master of quack foo and a
Creepy interspecies sex, duck nudity, and cheesy duck puns create an underwhelming experience that not even future Oscar winner Tim Robbins could save, despite the sci-fi comedy flick's now cult status.
Filthy help me! Never heard of a duck that couldn't swim!
Number 4. Batman and Robin.
Let's kick some ice.
His previous film, Batman Forever, was already a huge letdown to some fans compared to the Tim Burton movies that preceded it. Number 3. Jack and Jill.
How we doing? Where were you?
We are glad that Adam Sandler closed out the 2010s with an Oscar-worthy performance in Uncut Gems, because he kicked off the decade with a Razzie-winning performance in Jack and Jill. Actually, he gave 2 Razzie-winning performances, playing Adman Jack and his unbelievably obnoxious twin sister Jill.
Oh, Polly Wally Zoom Golly Golly.
That means I want to choke on my own vomit.
The film even managed to win a Razzie in every category. An unprecedented, achievement. Even in a decade that brought us Pixels and Grown Ups 2, Jack and Jill is Sandler's crowning achievement of lazy anti-humor. Al Pacino says it best in the final scene where he orders Jack to
burn this.
In the story's context, he's talking about a commercial, but it just as easily could be applied to the movie we just endured.
Everyone wants my Dunkachino. Can't get enough of my Dunkachino.
Number 2, Battlefield Earth. Many of our entries can be seen as career killers, but Battlefield Earth brought John Travolta to an all-time low.
Oh, thank you, sir. I don't know if I could have kept my sanity to be here another 5 cycles.
Although most actors are forced to take these steps down for a paycheck, Travolta spent years bringing this movie to the world, claiming its source material was better than Star Wars.
Please forgive my pretension as I try to educate you in Cyclo, the noble language of our superiors.
Scientology founder L. Ron Hubbard wrote the book in an attempt to bring the religion to younger audiences, and that book serves as the basis of the sci-fi action flick. Needless to say, the world wasn't interested. When the most horrible acting you've ever seen is topped by camera work that will give you a cramp in the neck, it's not surprising you have a recipe for unintentional hilarity.
Stupid humans.
Before we reveal our top pick, here are some dishonorable mentions. Dragon Ball Evolution, for being an awful adaptation of a beloved show.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is a Dragon Ball Zushinshu 4-star ball. I promised my grandfather I would keep it safe, so I'm not letting anyone take it from me.
Superman 4: The Quest for Peace, for lackluster special effects and boring action.
Don't go in there. She's not in there.
Cats, for being aimless, uncanny, and repetitive. Loquisha, for being inane and offensive.
Go! You live with Loquisha. Welcome to the first episode. My name is Loquisha.
Mac and Me, for being a cheap E.T. knockoff. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, The Room. When your movie sparks a debate about film as outsider art and gets compared to getting stabbed in the head, you know you've done something special.
Do you want me to order a pizza?
Whatever, I don't care.
I already ordered a pizza.
You think about everything.
And no, we're not talking about Birdemic Shock and Terror. The Room was created by Tommy Wiseau, a mysterious eccentric who delivers one of the most head-scratching performances ever as the lead in this cringeworthy romantic drama.
I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hey, Johnny, what's up?
Wiseau plays a banker in San Francisco named Johnny, who's trying to cope with the infidelities of his fiancée Lisa.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
Why are you so hysterical?
Do you understand life? Do you?
From the melodramatic acting and awkward sex scenes to the nonsense plot, the movie tries to convince audiences that it's authentic and real, while somehow missing every single note.
You're having an affair with Lisa, aren't you? Am I wrong?
What? What are you, nuts?
There's a reason The Room has often been called the best worst movie ever made. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.